As the MV Rachel Corrie approaches the Gaza shore, Israel is still reacting to the attack that took place on Monday morning. Protests have been taking place all over Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories. In the Israeli parliament, tension broke out when legislators staged a walkout while verbally and physically attacking parliamentarian Hanin Zoabi. Zoabi is an Israeli-Palestinian Knesset member of the Balad party. She participated in the Aid Flotilla and attempted to speak about it after her return.
מדוע לקחתם מהעיתונאים את המצלמות? מדוע השתקתם את המסכים?
די, מספיק! מספיק! חבר הכנסת דנון החוצה.
מדוע פרסמתם?
להוציא אותו, אביגדור.
למה היו עלות וגרשייה?
חבר הכנסת, תוציאו אותו החוצה.
אז תענה לי. מדוע פרסמתם?
Protests in solidarity with the victims on the flotilla and against the siege of Gaza, such as this one in Jaffa, have faced violence throughout the country.
אני באתי לפה ואני עצרתי כי אני רציתי לראות אם יש אנשים שהם תושבי יפו שבמקרה אולי אני מכירה, אז רציתי לראות פשוט את עזות המצח שלהם שמפגינים פה נגד המדינה. אני בעד כוחות הביטחון, אני חושבת שהמדינה פעלה בצדק, השיקולים היו נכונים, הכל היה בסדר גמור, אני בעד מה שהחיילים ביצעו את הפעולות שלהם ובעד ההוראות שהם קיבלו.
יש איזשהו מצב שאת יכולה לדמיין לעצמך שהצבא הישראלי יכול היה לעשות משהו שאת לא מסכימה איתו?
לא, כמובן שיש לי סייגים פה ושם לגבי פעילויות מסוימות.
כמו מה?
או השגות מסוימות, אבל על פי רוב בדרך כלל אני תמיד בעד הצבא ואני תמיד בעד הביטחון ואני תמיד מקבלת בברכה את כל מה שצה"ל רוצה לעשות והחיילים שלנו רוצים לעשות למען המדינה.
אל תיגע במצלמה.
ספינות היו צריכים להטביע אותם, לא היו צריכים להיכנס לשם בכלל. פשוט להטביע אותם.
אם את צלמת אותי לשפוך לך, 8 דורות. אל תצלמי אותי.
But massive rallies have also taken place in support of the IDF operation that left at least 9 dead. On Thursday, thousands of Israelis gathered outside the Turkish embassy to protest the country's involvement in the aid convoy.
If a ship that is loaded with provocators that come to give I don't know what to people in Gaza that fire missiles on us, we have the right to defend ourselves and to take over this ship.
Why are you isolating the Turkish people?
Because they are the provocators that brought weapons with them. Once they bring weapons to attack Israeli soldiers, they are guilty.
The people who organized the ships, the media asked them, why did you bring knives? And they explained, on the ship, they cooked food for 600 people, so they needed knives.
They cooked soldiers with the knives. Yeah, these are the peace activators,
טורקיה הייתה חילונית, היום טורקיה הרבה יותר מוסלמית. ארדואן מייצג את המוסלמיות הזאת, את ההנהגה המוסלמית.
ממשלת ארדואן היא ממשלה אסלאמית קיצונית, עם אג'נדה ג'יהאדיסטית כנראה, שרוצה פה מרחב מוסלמי ללא יהודים.
אז רק בגלל שהם מוסלמים.
בהחלט, מדובר, והעולם צריך להבין את זה. המלחמה היא בין העולם המוסלמי הקיצוני לבין העולם התרבותי, הציוויליזציה המערבית.
Do you think Israel has a right to attack anyone, anywhere?
We have the right to defend ourselves. That's a defensive democracy.
Okay.
That's the best example I could ever give.
The whole idea was organized, orchestrated, and fundraised by Americans and Europeans. Only this time, only one of the boats is Turkish. Why are you not protesting outside the American embassy?
Maybe we had a good excuse to go to the Turkish ship. Look what happened.
כי אפילו השוטרים לטובתנו. השוטרים לטובתנו, כי הם חלק מהעם שלנו.
For a week before the attack ever took place, the Israeli Army and Security Cabinet that advises the Prime Minister debated what action to take. During this time, the Israeli Navy ran scenario exercises with the Israeli Air Force. On Friday, May 29th, 3 days prior to the attack, the Israeli daily Ma'ariv published this article. It outlines stage by stage how the operation was to take place. Stage 1, warning. Stage 2, taking control. Stage 3, deboarding the ship. Stage 4, arrest. And Stage 5, inspection. Under Stage 2, taking control, the operation prescribes that if the ships will not answer the officer's call to turn around, the operation will continue by force. Unnamed army officials also engaged in an information offensive, linking the Free Gaza movement to terrorist organizations. "We have very good reason to suspect an act of terrorism from the boats," said one senior officer. "It is impossible to know at this stage whether terrorists boarded the ship or whether there is intent to use live ammunition against our forces. Therefore, we will act with full seriousness and caution." The article continues, after taking control of the ship, Unit 13 of the Corps of Engineers and the Army's K-9 unit will search the ships for terrorist materials and weapons. In spite of the fact that the IDF is yet to present any evidence for its terrorism claims, and that the only weapons the army found on board were its own, many people in Israel continue to see the attack as a fight against terrorism. Even Israeli Foreign Minister Avigdor Lieberman, who spoke against the convoy before it took place, said it is a violent propaganda against Israel. He then added, like many senior members of the Israeli government, there is no humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip. On Wednesday, after the attack, the Israeli Army's press office published this press release. It alleges that the activists on board the Turkish ship were Al-Qaeda mercenaries. Referring to a Security Council meeting, it says, according to intelligence disclosed during the meeting, the terrorists wore bulletproof vests and carried with them night vision goggles, weapons, and large sums of cash. Throughout the day, journalist Max Blumenthal and I called the Army spokesperson requesting evidence for such accusation. The Army replied, saying there is none, and changed the headline of the press release to "Attackers of the IDF soldiers found without identification papers." The wording of the press release itself also changed the term terrorist to protester. Regardless, the accusation stuck. In an interview with the Jerusalem Post, one of the commandos involved in the attack spoke about having killed 6 protesters himself. His commanding lieutenant colonel spoke of the soldiers' performance, referring to him simply as Sergeant S. S did a remarkable job. He stabilized the situation and succeeded in hitting 6 of the terrorists. The Freedom Flotilla intended to breach the Israeli blockade of Gaza and bring attention to the suffering of the Palestinians there. The MV Rachel Corrie, an Irish ship that is part of the convoy, is still on its way and is scheduled to reach Gaza on Saturday afternoon. It is only a matter of time before the world will see whether Israel will express restraint in the face of international outcry over its attack on Monday, or whether, as Israeli press suggests, it will use even bigger force.